Hello, this is Callan Bentley. Welcome back for another Smart Figure. After watching this video, you should be able to define and distinguish physical and chemical weathering. Things fall apart. That's the sort of point with weathering. And this is an example of that, a non-geological example. A bicycle that's rusting after it's been left outside. So you start off with bicycle and atmosphere, add a little bit of rain and repeated cycles of wetting and drying, and you end up with something new, this substance called rust. Rust is an example of chemical weathering, basically where a chemical reaction takes place and a new substance is produced. You can contrast that with this scene outside of Moab, Utah, where the Entrada sandstone has been broken up into a series of fins. Basically, it's been fractured multiple times, and those fractures are an example of physical weathering, basically taking one solid chunk of something and breaking it into smaller pieces of that same substance. So this started off as one continuous sheet of sandstone. Now it's been broken into many individual pieces of sandstone, but they're still sandstone. Physical weathering and chemical weathering end up aiding and abetting one another. In other words, they help one another out. And that's what's illustrated here in this picture. So basically, by taking this initial cube of rock and then breaking it into a greater number of pieces, in other words, the same volume of rock, the same mass of rock, but a greater number of pieces, we've physically weathered it here, we've ended up increasing the surface area. And that is really important because it's on the surface of the rock that chemical weathering does its work. Just like it's on the surface of the bicycle where the rust accumulates, it's the same thing with rocks. As they're being chemically weathered, they don't get weathered from the inside out. The chemical weathering starts on the outside and works its way in. The example over on the far right here is going to be much more susceptible to chemical weathering because it's already been so pervasively shattered, broken up by physical weathering. Okay, so let's see if you can distinguish here whether this is an example of physical or chemical weathering. There's some water in a little bottle here. You put it in the freezer, and then the water expands, and it has shattered the bottle. Physical or chemical weathering? You make the call. Okay, so hopefully you said physical weathering, and that would be correct. Okay, so the bottle is being shattered here into a bunch of little shards of glass. So it's still glass. There's no new substance that's been produced. It's just breaking an initial substance, glass, into a greater number of pieces. Good work and good luck. Thanks a lot for your attention. This has been another Smart Figure.